Each person will have a unique experience. No two experiences are going to be exactly the same. All XYZ experiences are going to be absolutely unique. You cannot compare and contrast. However, there could be a certain substratum which is a common theme between all. It is like saying the substratum is existence. Everyone is going to experience XYZ within the substratum of existence. So that is a commonality, that is a similarity. Now, one of the similarities, let us try to cover alphabetically, A is aloneness. It only happens in aloneness. Groups do not taste XYZ at all. That is a categorical statement. You cannot have a group waking up. The awakening experience is only for the individual who is absolutely alone with himself or herself. And I used to be quite alone and aloof. Of course, I was interacting with people, I was going for parties. However, even at parties, I would be curled up with a book. I would be reading something or writing something or maybe even playing chess with somebody. Party is a fun place, it's a picnic. What I do at the picnic is my wish. You cannot force me to do what you are doing. The problem with people is they try to force their fun upon you. Wherever I have been to, I have interacted with these highly unintelligent people who think they are geniuses, and they try to force their fun upon you. Your fun is not my fun. My fun need not be your fun. I am not forcing anything upon anybody. All I am saying is, leave me alone, let me be. I don't want you in my life. That's my choice. That's how I lived for many years in Bombay. And for many years I was being disturbed. People find it very difficult to leave you alone. They are addicted to you. They are missing you. That is their problem. It is like, suppose some girl comes up to me and says, I love you. My immediate response will be, not my problem. First of all, I have not even given you the permission to love me without my consent. How can you love me without my consent? It is very easy to say I love you to anybody. But have I consented? Have I accepted your love for me? No. I don't need your love. I don't need your respect. I want nothing from you. That is aloneness. Needing something from somebody is not aloneness. Missing someone is not aloneness. Loneliness is not aloneness. In loneliness you are missing. Aloneness is a different dimension altogether. It is sublime, blissful aloneness, uplifting aloneness. It is like a musician sitting in his room and doing riyaz. It is like an instrumentalist practicing on the sitar or the violin or the piano or the saxophone or whatever in his aloneness, and enjoying it, enjoying the rhythm, the beats, the melody. And he is not doing it for an audience. He is his own audience. You are your own energy. The energy is not going to come from outside. It is coming from within oneself. Spreading from within oneself to everywhere. Omnipresence. Spreading from within oneself. The fragrance spreading from within oneself. It is not as if something is sitting on the outside and then it has entered us. Rather, it is the reverse that happens. It is already with us. However, unmanifest. What Krishna says, avyakta. It's a very beautiful word, avyakta. Not easily translatable, I would say. And vyakta. So the closest we can come to is unmanifest and manifest. Already there. It is us. We cannot say, I got XYZ experience. To explain, we can say, however, that is incorrect. We are XYZ. So it is like XYZ saying, I got XYZ experience. It's a tautology, a mere repetition. So, because of this so-called material life, things become hidden because our focus was elsewhere. Our energies were circulating on the outside, and there was no time to look at the energies happening within. That is what my friend means when he says aloneness. And that has also been my experience. That has been the experience of all the masters. You name it, Buddha, Osho, U.G. Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti, Meher Baba, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda, Yogananda, Ramana Maharishi, you name it. The Zen masters, Rinzai, Chuang-Tzu, Gurdjieff, you name it. They all attained in aloneness. Attainment is a wrong word. However, we don't have the right word for it. So if you want to call it an achievement, please go ahead. No need to be diffident about it. Let the world say whatever it wants to say. Doesn't matter. Whatever you do, world will have a few words to say about it. Completely disregard this world comprising of 700 crore earthlings. Completely disregard them. Doesn't matter. What they say doesn't matter. They don't know what they are saying and about what they are saying. So there is two-pronged ignorance in them and multi-pronged, obviously. So let's not get into them at all. Absolute aloneness, blissfulness, uplifted blissfulness, inspiring, motivating blissfulness, inspiring us from within, motivating us from within. Nobody is needed, nothing is needed. Even materials are not needed. A bit of oxygen, a bit of water, a few bananas are enough to live. Like with one disciple slash friend slash Spock boy, I was joking. What is for breakfast? Bananas. Great. What is for lunch? Lunch is slightly different. How? Breakfast is chopped bananas. Okay. Lunch is slightly grated bananas. Wow. Lunch seems to be different. What about dinner? Dinner is bananas, but slightly different. Unpeeled bananas. You have to peel it yourself. Wow. So different, huh? Breakfast, lunch and dinner is absolutely and phenomenally different from each other. We don't need anything in life. We don't need these so-called people. We don't need these so-called friends. Mostly there are no friends. These days you only have frenemies. Enemies in the garb of friends. People are full of jealousy, negativity. This is Kali Yuga, age of quarrels, hypocrisy, cheating, deceit, cunningness, illusion, delusion. You name it, it is there. The energies are floating around. Also, it's a battleground. This world is the Kurukshetra. So here the enemy is not some Kaurava on the battlefield. The enemy actually is the conditioning that they have put into us since early childhood. It is very difficult to unlearn that now. Everybody has got conditioned to be the false themselves. The true themselves is yet to manifest itself. And when it does, it comes as a shock to people. They are stunned and shocked. And then they come up with their own theories. XYZ person should be very, very calm, very, very gentle and soft. Arey, we are talking the real me. Whatever is the Swadharma, whatever is the self-nature will manifest itself. If I am a lion from within, then I am a lion. Now I cannot be a dove. I cannot be a pigeon. If I am a tiger from within, I am a tiger. If I am a jaguar, I am a jaguar. Whatever I am, I am. That stuns them because the earlier persona, the earlier personality was so cool, so calm, talking swiftly. But suddenly when the real he manifested after XYZ experience, they get stunned and shocked. It seems to be a sea change from earlier. So one of my frenemies was once telling me, I want the old you. I said, which old you are you talking about? And you never get in life what you want. Things are thrust upon you. I said, I can give you the old me, no problem. He says, how? That will be very nice. I said, see, there is this time machine parked in the garage, yonder garage. You sit inside it and go back 20 years. You can interact with the old me. This is the me of today. Like it or lump it. I have not come to you. You have come to me. Or even if I have come to you, you have invited me to come to you. You have forced me emotionally to reach out to you. Right? So in a way you have come to me. I have not come to you. So there is a difference between going and meeting people and waiting for them to come and meet you. There is a tremendous difference. My suggestion is, do not go to meet anybody. Once you have met yourself, that is enough. Let them come to meet you. Yes, work related, if you have to travel, then you have to travel. Then you can meet people. Then you can meet people for business purposes. Otherwise, there is no need to meet people. Or for fun. Then it did better be real good fun. Because we have all grown. We have all seen life. Myself at the deepest level possible. I am a shark. You cannot swim at my depth. There is no chance that anybody on planet Earth right now is going to catch up with me regarding the depth at which I am swimming. You want to consider it XYZ statement, you want to pull out your thesaurus and come up with a few words, please do. And I will say, I am X to the power of 10 times that. Any word you use for me, I am going to say you got it absolutely wrong. I am X to the power of 10 times that. What mumbo jumbo these people are talking. XYZ just means XYZ. That is why I have called it 673. I have had a 673 experience. I leave it to your intelligence or the lack of it in all probability to try to fathom it. What the hell is he talking about? I have attained 673. You never will. Let me add one more rider. Throughout the eternity of existence, you will never reach 673. Max you can reach is 672. And even 674 is not higher than 673. 674 is actually 673 minus 1. 673 is the ultimate, the acme, the peak, the point of the pyramid, the topmost. There is space only for one, the summit. That is me. Everything else is below me. Any problems? That hurts their ego. It's a very big problem. And we are total ego. What is the problem? Nay? It hurts their ego very much. They want you to say, no, we are all at the same level. It is not as if that I am sitting on top. I am such a humble person, such a nice person, such a goody-goody person. Hey, give me a bravo, yeah. I've struggled through it. Nothing has come easy. I've climbed the mountain. I'm a mountaineer. There is no oxygen, almost zero oxygen, and I don't have an oxygen tank with me. Those are the kinds of mountains I've climbed. And you don't have the guts to do it. You're chicken-hearted. I'm not. I'm lion-hearted. But at the same time, I'm a generous heart. But do not abuse my generosity and magnanimity. You have no right to do that. Or my nobility. I will reverse the entire equation when the time comes. Because enough is enough. Constantly disturbing everybody around. Constantly disturbing 673 experience. Constantly. Somebody will come up with a suggestion. You can become a leading guru. You can start ashrams. Am I here to start ashrams? Am I here to deliver pravachans and lectures? That is not why I am born. I know why I am born. Why I am here. I never asked for suggestions, never asked for advice. In fact, one friend told me, you can do this, you can do that. I said, 10 lakh. He says, what? I said, I never take free advice. I charge for it. Why are you giving me free advice? Did I ask you? Did I ask you how to go about my business, how to go about my life, what to do with it? If I start a company, how to go about it? You do your thing, I do my thing. I am giving you no suggestions, but if you want, I can give you because I am more intelligent, more of a genius than you ever will be. Once you say that to people, again that hurts their ego. So constantly throughout the day, all I am doing is hurting egos. Then they want to get back at you. Once you have hurt their ego, they can't sit quietly. They want to get back at you somehow. But why are they even coming within my ambit? So you do your thing, I am doing my thing, and my life is going swimmingly. Swimmingly. In fact, I am so deep underwater that I can hardly look at what is going on at the surface level of life. I am kind of oblivious to it. Yes, I am an amphibian also. So this is a shark that is amphibious in character. Once in a while I come up to the surface, I resurface, walk on land and interact with all these superficial earthlings and go back to my depth. It's good fun. Nothing is required in life. No material, no fame, no knowledge, no theory, no practical, no techniques. No meditation, no chanting, nothing is required. We are already that. But yes, for a lot of people in whom it does not manifest yet, it is okay. I am not judging them. I do not walk up to people and say, why are you listening to that pravachan? Why are you into this theory? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why don't you change? Why don't you effect some course correction in your approach? I never do all this. Even if they ask me, I just tell them, just do whatever you are doing. Whatever you feel is best for you, continue doing that. Who am I to suggest anything? How do I know it will work for you? I don't know what will work for you. You have to discover it yourself. And that is the beauty of life. Self-discovery of even the so-called techniques. Nobody else can discover it for yourself. You have to conduct this great experiment upon yourself. The experiment of XYZ. It's a gamble. Are there any guarantees that an experiment will reach a successful fruition? No. Life doesn't come with a guarantee card. Life is a casino. You enter life and you have these chips. You can go to the roulette table, you can go to the backgammon table, you can go to the bar, fix yourself a drink. You need not gamble. The casino is not forcing you to gamble. The casino is saying, chill out. However, if you are enticed by some table, and there are hundreds of tables, you can go and play poker. You can go to that machine, what's it called? Pinball, XYZ. Life is a casino. Life is a picnic. You are carrying all these ambitions, all these business plans, and meanwhile, life is just slipping past you. One person was asking me for guarantees and saying, I cannot live this glorious uncertainty called life. I told him, you should have been born a chair or a sofa set or a bed, preferably a king size double bed. There is a certainty. Yesterday a chair, today also a chair, tomorrow also a chair. And basically dead. Dead matter, inanimate matter. If you are alive, and if the universe is alive, and if existence is alive, if the sun and the moon are alive, then everything is in a state of flux. Everything is evolving. It is not the same sun. It is a more evolved sun today. It is not the same XYZ. It is XYZing. So it is more evolved today than it was yesterday. It's a blooming. It's not a noun. It's a verb. 673 is a verb. 673ing. It's not a tree, it's a treeing. It's not a sky, it's a skying. It's not a bird, it's a birding. It's not a dog, it's a dogging. How can I give any guarantee, any certainty to anybody? And it is for this guy that we started a company. So I told him yesterday, we can cancel the plan. We started it for you. I have not started anything for myself. I don't need anything. Why will I start anything for myself? Once you have reached the peak, now what achievement are we talking about? That's all balderdash. Cock and bull stories. Once you touch the peak, you can only go to another peak. It is almost impossible to come down into the valley. Almost impossible. Yes, one can achieve the impossible as well. Now, every time I come down from the peak to talk to valley people, again they will say my trip. And I come again and again and again and again. Because somebody has to. Somebody has to come from the top of the mountain to interact with valley people and tell them, I know the terrain. I am the guide. I am La Guide Cosmos. I can take you to the top of the peak. I can also make you a mountaineer. However, you will have to walk. I cannot carry you. It's an arduous climb, but I know the terrain pretty well, each and every mountain. So that has been constantly happening in my life. That the valley people will always Sierra your trip. Always. I have not met a single valley person who has not Sierra'd my trip. So I have begun to enjoy it these days, as if I'm a masochist. Or is it masochist? Whichever be the pronunciation. Sometimes I'm forgetting even the pronunciations of simple words. And these people are not growing. They are the same what they were 30 years ago, 40 years ago. They are still roughly the same. And I sometimes wonder, really wonder, that isn't that the biggest miracle? That somebody can remain unevolved for 40 years, 50 years. That's an even bigger miracle than somebody saying, I have evolved. Because that seems more natural. They have achieved the impossible. The valley people are the ones who have actually achieved the impossible. Anyway, on that note, let me go back to my tepid coffee now. We'll catch up soon. Take care. Jai Hind.